Hey guys, what's going on today? I'm Infinity, and as always, going to be bringing you some information about amateur Call of Duty. Today, once more, we're going to be talking about the 2019 Call of Duty World Championship. Day 4 is done and dusted, and unfortunately, there are no more amateur teams in the tournament. We're going to be talking about how that came to pass and what's in store for the remaining pro teams left on Championship Sunday. Kicking off this video, we're going to be talking about the winners bracket and the 4 matches that happened in the winners quarter-final. So kicking things off, of course, we've got United versus Evil Genius. A very, very close series. I said previously that Evil Genius has actually come to play here at Champs. They played very well in their first opening matchup against Splice. And they played extremely well here, just couldn't win the hard points. And then, of course, they faltered in the final search and destroy. What I will say is United are a very, very good team. They're bringing off this performance from Miami. They're bringing it across to Champs. We'll talk about that a little bit later on as well when we get to the winners semi-final, because let's just say they went mega. But Evil Genius is unable to win that winners quarter-final matchup. It did go to Game 5, however, and they played it close. But that's on that side of the bracket. Of course, we do also have Sicario Gaming and Units. And going into this one, I didn't really know who to pick. I kind of figured maybe Sicario, if they played really well, they could beat Units. They just couldn't do it, and it wasn't really down to Sicario not necessarily playing well. Units have just been on a roll this Champs, and again, they really came to play. Their players were on top form, and besides the search and destroy, they really just dominated. Besides the control, sorry, they really just dominated. So, very well played from Units. Unfortunately, that left Sicario in the losers bracket. Talking about the other 2 matches, though, Luminosity and Reciprocity, what a match. I mean, Luminosity, they went 2-0 up in the series. They didn't necessarily dominate the first 2 maps, but they were playing very, very well, and Reciprocity didn't really have a counter to it. But going into control, Reciprocity, they clutched up, and from that point onwards, hard point and search and destroy. It wasn't a breeze necessarily, but they played a lot more tight, a lot tighter, a lot better, and it showed in their performances. It came all the way down to around 11, and Reciprocity came out on top. A reverse sweep performed by the Rec Boys to put themselves into the top 6 and the winners semi-finals. And finally, we closed out the winner quarterfinals with Enigma 6 versus Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming able to trump Enigma 6 in that one. They did just choke the search and destroy though, so I don't think Optic will be happy about that at the very least. But moving on, then we've got the winners semi-finals, of course, United versus Units. This is the match I want to talk about. United trounced Units. Units didn't have a chance in this matchup. I was watching it on the sofa. I literally rolled over when I was just rolling when Sib got his 3-piece snipe on Arsenal. I can't believe what on earth Units were doing. Simping that S&D as well. Crazy performances from United. Units didn't have a chance, and they knew it as well. I don't think there's anything Units could have done in that matchup, put it that way. And then finally, of course, Reciprocity, Optic Gaming. Optic were able to close out the night with a victory over the Rec Boys. Again, great performance from Optic Gaming. Rec are now going to have to go through the losers bracket. So that's going to be the winners bracket, of course, leaving United and Optic Gaming in the winners bracket final. Let's take a look at how the losers bracket looked on Saturday. So let's talk about this losers bracket then. Of course, Enigma 6 versus Team War kicking things off. You've got to feel bad for War here. I mean, I didn't actually get to watch this match because it was happening concurrently with Team Singularity and Luminosity, which is my priority at the time. But you just got to feel bad for War in a way. They were 2-0 up in the series. Vortex has been playing extremely well all weekend long, and he carried that performance over into this matchup. It was just so unfortunate for them to go 2-0 up in the series and get reverse swept. To lose and to be eliminated in top 12 in such a fashion was pretty sad to hear about. So unfortunately to War, they do fall to an on-point and on-form Enigma 6. Second match though, Luminosity and Singularity. This is the one that I feel heartbroken about it. Singularity performed so well. They've been the best, in my opinion, have been the best performing amateur team in the entire weekend. Without a shadow of a doubt, they destroyed groups. And when they came to face off against Luminosity once again, it was a reinvigorated LG, a team that had somehow found their form. And in this match, they were going ultra. Like Skies, for me, was the MVP in this match, without a shadow of a doubt. The amount of 2 pieces, 3 pieces he managed to find, I can't believe what was going on. I will say as well, Singularity didn't look the same. So if you guys were watching this match, beyond the hard point, Singularity were just making small mistakes, which they hadn't been all this weekend long in the Search and Destroy. You know, you hark your minds back to that very first round. Just they lost a round which they shouldn't have done, and it came down to round 11 in the end. And of course, maths show that they would have won that first round. Things may have looked a little bit different as well. Their control this weekend as well, Singularity were never going to win that, in my opinion. Their control hasn't been good this weekend at all. And then of course it came to the hard point, and once again Luminosity, they just looked better at breaking. So little mistakes I think on the side of Singularity. They didn't have their sort of championship winning performances outside of the first hard point, and Luminosity, they capitalized that. They punished pretty hard, and they ended up winning. So unfortunate for Singularity, they were the last amateur team to fall in the bracket, of course, because technically speaking, chronologically, Sicario Gaming versus 100 Thieves happened a little bit earlier. Let's talk about that match though, 100 Thieves versus Sicario Gaming. Of course, to be honest with you, like 100 Thieves versus Sicario, you look at that on paper, there's just no way Sicario are going to win. 100 Thieves have won 2 majors this year. 100 Thieves would have to be in pretty bad form to lose this match, and they didn't. It was 3-0 in control as well, so pretty dominant. I will say the Search and Destroy came very close as well. Sicario ended up winning that in round 11 and tying up the series, but that fourth hard point, it just wasn't close. I think they ended up getting something like 60 points Sicario versus the 250 of 100 Thieves. So unfortunate for Sicario, they also fall, and that means that all the amateur teams out in top 12. Of course, the final match was Elevate versus Evil Geniuses. Elevate, of course, they barely slipped through the cracks this event. I think beating Heretics in itself was a miracle, but they're definitely not going to beat an on-form Evil Geniuses. So that was losers round 2. Going to losers round 3, then we had Enigma 6 versus LG, as well as 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses. To be honest, this is such sort of a couple of hard matches. Enigma 6 versus LG. LG were on form. Enigma 6 have been on form all weekend long. Enigma 6 came out on top. Game 5 as well, but the Search and Destroy just wasn't close. It was done in 7 rounds. Enigma 6 just looked better, and LG fell in top 8. And finally, to cap off the evening, we had Team Reciprocity versus 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses. Quick 3-0 for 100 Thieves. So dispatched of EG quite quickly, and that's just getting worrying now. If you're a fan of Reciprocity, who they do face today, 100 Thieves are on fire. They beat FaZe in that reverse sweep, then they went through Sicario, and now Evil Geniuses. 100 Thieves are looking like a very, very good squad. They're finding form fairly quickly. I don't know really what Reciprocity can do, so we'll see what happens, but that's going to be a very interesting match. Of course, that goes on today alongside Units versus Enigma 6. I will say as well, Units have been playing spectacularly as well. They just sort of hit a fork in the road, as it were, with E United. So them going head-to-head with Enigma 6 will be a very interesting matchup, considering Enigma 6 have looked very good this champs. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Championship Sunday, if you're going to watch all the action, it's twitch.tv/Call of Duty from 6 PM BST, I think. I could be wrong. I'm probably feeding you false information. Championship Sunday of the last ever Call of Duty World Championship. It's going to be great. Watch it. Thank you guys for watching, though, and I'll see you guys in the next one.